I'm Jordan. This is my 1983 Mark I Fiesta.
Jordan stopped by to share all about his very special Fiesta, and trust me, the story behind it is just as beautiful as the car itself. Stick around, we'll catch up with him later in this episode. It was bike night at the Alma pub in Copford. I arrived a little later than planned, and the sun was already dipping below the horizon. Even so, there was still a great turnout of bikers, and the atmosphere had that familiar good vibe. Hot food was on hand too, which warmed us up perfectly, as it was getting a little chilly. Now, don't forget, our final bike night of the season is coming up next Tuesday, the 30th of September, and we'll be hosting it right here at Frank's. Hopefully, we'll see you there to close the season in style. Well, you may have seen Tash on other videos in other episodes of Frank's Weekly, but I'm very aware that actually we haven't properly introduced you, have we?
Not yet, which is probably a good thing.
Not at all. So could you please tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Yep, so I'm John's wife. We've been together for 25 years altogether, so quite a considerable amount of time. But yes, I sort of generally just support within the business wherever I can, whether it's in the cafe, which is most days, which I thoroughly enjoy, love it. But I also help with the bikes, the cars, sales, workshop, whatever needs doing. I'm sort of the one that can dip in and out and be a floater, if you like.
I wouldn't downgrade yourself. You do.
It's a good old term, being a floater. There's nothing wrong with it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just support wherever I'm needed.
You do an incredible job, and please don't downplay yourself, because you literally do so much, and it's incredible to see. But what I wanted to ask you was, how were things after John's accident for you?
Well, tough, because obviously at the beginning, on the night that it happened, thankfully I didn't actually see the accident. So Mason, who was with us, he saw it all happen. So it sort of started for when we originally saw John just laying on the track and not moving. So whereas he's had accidents in the past, it's always been, yeah, get up in a minute, it's fine. What seemed like hours was only minutes, but within a few minutes he was still not moving. The marshals were there, then there were safety cars around him, and the only thing I can describe it was like, like when you watch horse racing and they put the screens up around a horse when you know it's going to be shot. Yeah, I just thought that the worst had happened, because they were blocking all possible views. So it was horrendous from the moment it happened. But the track were brilliant. The hospital was brilliant. He was in the hospital, in the trauma unit. And it just happened all so quick. And it wasn't until we probably got home about 4 a.m. that morning, knowing that obviously work had to continue, because obviously you had only been with us a week, if that. Mason had to do a couple of bits, but it was at that point John came first. So as long as we made sure that we had people on site, we did go to the hospital. Again, it all happened so quickly. We went to the hospital and we asked for Jonathan Stevens, and he wasn't even there, according to them. So again, you naturally think the worst, because he's not on the ward that he was meant to be. And it was just a number of bits that it was just horrible. It was just, he was up in by the track in the Norfolk and Norwich hospital. So it was a hospital that we wasn't used to. But we eventually found him, and he was on the ward, and he looked awful. He looked greyer than he normally is, with his grey hair and grey beard, in a lot of pain. but he was alive.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing. But then obviously from there, you're then talking to doctors about he could, parts of his legs he could feel, some of his legs he couldn't feel. He had a big hematoma that was just growing and growing and growing, which they were quite concerned about. So yeah, for a few days it was John took priority, but once we knew he was going to be okay, obviously Mason and I just had to step up a little bit to make sure that the business obviously continued on a day-to-day basis. John's not very good at letting go of any form of control. He does like to dip in and out. So there was a lot of things that we found that we didn't know the answers to. So we then had to find the answers. And whether it was with questions that you had for yourself, because obviously you as a new starter, questions that Paul had, or even Mason with the accounts, it was, right, well, John's not here. We've got to find the answers. So it became quite difficult because we was worried and concerned about John in hospital. We was concerned that we wanted to make sure that the business carried on and we was making the right decisions in John's absence. So yeah, it was tough. And obviously the 2-hour drive to Norwich every day and the 2-hour drive home was tough. It was tiring.
And it's not only that you had to deal with. You've also got a major hobby too, haven't you?
I have got a horse.
Yeah.
Which I've had for. I've always been into horses ever since I was 2, so that's many years. But I've had Seb for 5 years, and he is lovely. I absolutely adore spending time with him. He is definitely keeps me sane. But I've got a fantastic friend, Neve, who just took him on and looked after him as she always does, as her own. So for a little while, I didn't get to see Seb, but I knew he was taken care of and being loved and cuddled and all what's important for a horse. So yes, it was tough because always in the background I couldn't leave George on his own for too long because the calf does get busy, and it's a tough little business when you're on your own. So we decided that we'd come to work, finish work at 3:30, and then shoot up and spend the evening with John. So yeah, hard.
Very hard. Well,
hence why I look like this now, because I'm still catching up on sleep
oh.
that we didn't get at the time. But yeah, hopefully we wanted to make sure that Frank's was still going, still beating, and still had that passion and a nice place for people to come, even though John wasn't here.
And you've done an incredible job. Honestly, hats off to you, girl.
Thank you very much indeed. It's but it's something that had to be done.
Yeah.
So there wasn't any question. It was, you just have to jump in and do the best you can. And I think we was able to do that because of the team that we had around us, and that we still have, because otherwise we wouldn't have got through it. So again, that goes out to Mason, it goes out to Paul, it goes out to you, because obviously you were sort of thrown in the deep end because you was only here a week, and it was like, really sorry.
I was like, I'm just guessing.
So it was about everybody pulling together at that time, because if I hadn't had you guys in place, then I wouldn't have been able to do what I could do in the absence of John. So it was credit to us all. We all pulled our socks up and knuckled down, and we got it done.
Well, you know what they say, teamwork makes the
dream work. Absolutely. No, and it is true. It is true. It's having the right people at the right time, and we've definitely got that at the moment. So yeah, really chuffed.
It's great to be part of.
Yeah, no, it's just lovely. It's nice that when something so big happens, it does carry on.
Yeah.
You know, you can rely on people around you to just do what needs to be done, even if it's out of their comfort zone. It's not what they normally do, but we all done it. So yeah, chuffed to nuts.
Here we have Jordan, who has brought his absolutely stunning
Fiesta to visit us today at Frank's to talk about the beautiful story. So, Jordan, what can you tell me about this car?
Well, this is my 1983 Mark I Ford Fiesta, which I've just finished nut and bolt restoring in memory of my mum. It holds so many memories for me with my mum, so I made it my mission after her passing to make it one of the best examples out there as a representation of the mother she was to me.
And you've done an absolutely incredible job. Just look at how stunning this car is.
Well, this is my first nut and bolt restoration. I've never tackled anything like this, and with the help of a local team at Lee Scott Classic Cars, they welded it and painted it for me, and then I done the rest. So it's one I'm very proud of.
Absolutely. When you first pulled up, I was blown away with her beauty and the attention to detail. It is incredible.
So around the front here is a badge I've made with my mum's portrait. You'll see this car is completely dedicated to her. That was the final piece to go on the car. We've also got some period correct Michelin MX tyres, which it would have come off the line with, but they're brand new, made with much better rubber. Michelin do a classic range, and they remade those, which is cool. See, all the windows are etched with a number plate to show it's never had any glass or anything. We've got new old stock Ford badges on it. Even a Ford dealer sticker, which I made and had printed with my mum's name on.
That is so beautiful.
This attention to detail was very important with this one, so yeah.
What can you tell me about the interior?
So everything is the original interior, just cleaned up. The seats, only the fronts have been retrimmed using original new old stock herringbone material, which is just a really lucky find. Someone in Chelmsford had that on the shelf after, well, sitting there for probably over 30 years. The velour I managed to source, so it's a beige velour to match with the beige and the brown herringbone, and it all just ties in nicely with the rest of the interior. The carpet was originally beige, but I bought another carpet which was brown, and that just like ties in much better. Got some Ford waffle mats, which are quite hard to come by. Full brand new set of those. Yeah, it's just
What condition was the car in before you started the restoration project?
it was quite rough around the edges. I had a lot of really bad repairs. For what we could tell was like MOT repairs over the years. But it was all in areas where like full panels would like eliminate it all. So I spent I used it as it was because I liked the originality and honesty of it. But I just spent time trying to get hold of like genuine panels to replace at some stage. But yeah, it was quite rough. When it come to like sandblasting it, I got sent the pictures like straight after blasting, and like my heart sank when I saw the pictures because
Was it really bad?
it was bad.
Oh,
Like
dear.
yeah, there was a lot more rot than we thought, like proper hidden behind the wings and stuff, and yeah, it wasn't good to see, and a lot of people would have most likely given up on it. But yeah, I just stayed dedicated to it and didn't want to give up on it.
That was going to be my next question. Was there any
Yeah.
point in the restoration where you thought, I can't do this anymore, I completely give up and I'm done?
It was hard to like see it because yeah, I didn't want to give up on it. It meant too much to just give up on it, but a lot of people most probably would have done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just couldn't get I couldn't give up on it. Just yeah.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit about your mum and why this car meant so much to her?
So she was the most wonderful mum we could have ever asked for. She always had, like I say, our interest to heart too. And the minute that car become part of the family, it meant so much. She was quite proud to have it in the family. She'd tell everyone all about it. But we took it everywhere, and yeah, there's so many memories attached to it. It become like a grandchild to her. So yeah, it was like another one of her grandchildren.
And would you say that she was a car person too?
Yeah, yeah, she was always into cars. Also, in her younger days, as she had me and my twin, she devoted her life more to us kids. So, yeah, the cars only really happened again when I started to drive that. Um, but yeah, she was involved with a lot of friends in old cars, and she went to a lot of banger racing with like my older sister and stuff over the years, and yeah, she enjoyed all that. But it was more like our interests were at heart as well, so she
Yeah.
always supported them, and whatever we were into, she was into. So
But,
yeah,
and she loved the Fiesta, did she? She loved that car.
absolutely adored it. I'd say it was we'd take it out so much, and it was always an occasion. Like it was just always nice. Even if there weren't a show on, we'd take it to somewhere scenic for a picnic that she'd made for an entire week. Like she'd feed us for
Oh,
a week. Like, but it was just nice to go out somewhere, and no matter where we went, we'd be stopped, and like people would talk to us about it, and but she'd be first out, like telling everyone all about it. Like it
oh,
was her car, really. Um, but yeah, it just meant so much to us. It gave us a lot of joy, a lot
yeah.
of freedom, and yeah, it just meant a lot. Like I
Oh,
say, there's so many memories attached to it, so that's why it was so important to stay dedicated to it and make it like one of the best examples out there.
and it
Just
truly is probably the best car I've ever seen in my life. And I've been to loads of shows.
mm.
What is your earliest memory of the car with your mum?
So it would have been. To be fair, I mean, it was probably our first show. I mean, Ford's used to do a good event at Worley, their HQ that used to be there, and they had a show there one time, and that was probably our first show that we took it to, which wasn't long after getting it. Um, and it was just like a really great day out, and Mum just loved it. Like there were so many times like that. Just even when we weren't at shows, we were always out in it. Just there's so many, yeah, so many memories really.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't pick one. They're all amazing, are
yeah,
they?
they
Yeah.
literally are. To be fair, there isn't one in particular. It's just yeah, it's they were just all great. Like it just, I say, it meant so much to me, and it meant because it meant so much to me, it meant so much to Mum. So it's just yeah.
Yeah. How did working on the restoration help you feel connected to your mum?
So it was very emotional,
I
I will
bet.
admit. I spent a lot of late evenings doing it, and obviously, all our achievements over the years, we'd always have Mum there for us. So to do something like this, it was hard to not be able to share that.
Yeah.
Um, but obviously, after Mum's passing and then it resuming, it did really give me something to focus on and kept me like so busy. And like I say, I spent so many hours on it, rebuilding it, and just knowing the end goal was to make it like the best it could possibly be, just yeah, it kept me going. But I wish she was here to see it. But
Yeah.
that's the whole point of restoring that car. It keeps her legacy alive for me, and it gives me great comfort knowing it's back on the road and I've done it, and like it's just so special. So she lives on in the car. It's yeah, it
Yeah.
means a lot. So
That's beautiful. It really
yeah,
is beautiful. And you did a lot of the work yourself, didn't you?
yeah. So I mean, the paintwork and the metalwork, I tried to tackle the metalwork, but it was way beyond my capability. So it went to Lee Scott Classic Cars, and they done the metalwork and the paintwork. I gave it to them as an empty shell. They done the rest, and then I bought it back as an empty shell and then started to rebuild it. But yeah, I've done everything on it, like
That's
myself, and
incredible.
even a car that's well, the Mark One Fiestas are when they first started coming out, like 20 years prior to me being born. So to restore a car that's quite a lot older than you was quite a challenge for me. So there were so many things I had to read up and research on because like just find things like adjusting the gear linkage to get that right and tuning the
Gosh.
carb and stuff. Like I'd never been brought up around those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a huge learning curve, and I did lack a lot of self belief growing up. But having to done this, it's like become one of my proudest achievements, and it has given me that. self-belief again, just I know I can do something like that.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
That's a big thing to overcome, and you've done that
Yeah.
amazingly.
Yeah, it's, yeah, I'm so proud of it.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's a credit to you, it really is.
Thank you.
Was there a moment during the build where you really felt your mum's presence, like you really felt like she was watching over you?
Oh yeah, there's many times. In like when I got the sticker made and stuff like that, I like to see that go on. And I made the badge quite early on in the resto, so putting that all together using an old AA badge, I made the picture and then put it all together. So like when that badge more so come alive, I kept it a complete secret from like my sisters and everyone. The only people that saw it was the people I worked with because I'd done it at work. And yeah, so when that come together, that was like my mum, yeah, was there with me. I mean, she was there with me throughout the whole build.
Yeah,
You know, she was there watching over.
100%.
But yeah, that badge in particular, and that was the final piece to go on. So,
And yeah, so you brought it here to do the official unveiling.
yeah, between family and friends, which just exceeded my expectations. I weren't expecting to be so supported, and yeah.
And what was their reaction, like your reaction from your family and friends about the restoration project and then your unveiling? What reactions did you get from that?
So many people are so made up and just overwhelmed at the condition of it. Because a lot of people, I've met so many people because of that car. Like
Really?
that was the first classic Ford I had on the road, and because of that car, I got to meet so many great people, and that really helped with confidence and you know meeting and having so many cool opportunities with it. So it'd been off the road overall like 4 years, so it hadn't been seen by anyone for that
Right.
amount of time, and all the people that I'd met because of that car were there. So for them to see it again, like yeah, they just all had just great things to say about it. Like just couldn't fault it, and yeah, just a huge sense of pride, really.
Definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
What do you think your mum would say if she could see the car now?
yeah. I should be so overwhelmed. I should definitely be quite emotional about it. I'd say she adored it so much, and should just tell everyone about it. Just yeah, it's yeah, it would have meant a lot to her.
Yeah.
And
And the fact that you've built it.
yeah, I originally took it off the road when Mum was with us, because like I say we used it a lot, and we wanted to sort of go further afield with it. My mum wanted to visit the Isle of Wight again. She went there as a kid. I said, well, the car was getting a bit tired. I just wanted to make sure it was safe for a longer run out like that.
Yeah.
So that's why I initially took it off the road to start the process of restoring it and getting it right so we could use it more. Um, but then, yeah, shortly after actually taking it off the road is when she fell ill and she become main priority to look
Yeah.
after her. And the car just sat as a shell for like about 2 years before she passed. And then I had some time out from it all. And
Yeah.
then yeah, it went away to Lee Scott, and then that's when it resumed. And yeah, if she saw it now, yeah, she'd be so made up with it.
What spurred you on to restart the process? Because that came at a really difficult time, didn't it?
Yes, it it was, yeah, it's hot disheartening to see it in there, but I made a promise to her mum that I was going to get that car restored in memory of her. So I had some time to just process things, and then when Lee said like we've got a slot coming up, we can take the car. You know, that's when I started getting things ready to just get it to him, and then resume it. But yeah, seeing it in the garage after that long, you know, it had so thick dust on it. It looked like something you just drag out of a barn. Like it was really bad, and yeah, it was still rolling because I stripped it to a shell but kept it rolling, so I could move it about. But then, yeah, it was disheartening to see. But
Yeah. But you got up and you did it, and
yeah, that's it. It gave me something to focus on,
yeah.
and like I say, it kept me so busy as well. Like while the shell was away, I was back at the workshop restoring everything else, like
Yeah.
building everything back up and getting things powder coated, and every single nut and bolt was bagged and labeled when I took it apart.
Wow.
So I could then get them acid dipped and zinc plated, so they go back to the original gold zinc color that all the bolts
Wow.
are on there. But annoyingly, what I didn't realize is they have to all go in the same tub at the same time.
Oh
So I had to
no.
document like every nut and bolt,
Oh my
measure it,
gosh. Oh.
take photos of it, just so it could all go in together. And then when I got it home, you know, it was all laid out on the kitchen floor, and I spent
Oh
just
my,
evenings rebagging it all just
that's
so I knew.
insane.
Yeah,
That's so
it's mad how many
meticulous.
nuts and bolts there are on a little car like that. It's yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's quite a lot of time put into that alone. Just I mean, it's, the overall restorations had over 1,000 hours put into. I put in over 500 hours easily. Yeah, just in it, and similar with the metalwork and the paintwork.
It's an absolute labour of love.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take from start to finish, the whole project?
So overall, the car was off the road for about 4 years. Obviously, 2 years of that was during mum being ill and looking after mum. But from it being blasted to finished, it was just under 2 years in the
Wow.
end. Yeah, so about 10 months on the metal and the paintwork, so just the shell alone, and then I spent 11 months solid just rebuilding it.
That's
So ground
incredible.
up rebuild, which yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
amazing. What was the hardest part of the whole process? Which part was the hardest bit for you personally?
It's a good question. There was quite a lot of things, just like you know,
That's okay.
there was. Let's say the whole thing was a challenge, just because of how much older that car is. To me, I was never brought up around them. They're obviously a lot older than me. There's loads of things on it that were a bit of a challenge. I mean, I tried to find some help with probably the gearbox was probably quite a challenge, to get that stripped down and vapor blasted and made to look new again.
That was Jordan sharing the truly heartwarming story behind his car, a restoration done in loving memory of his mum. It's more than just a project, it's a tribute that carries her spirit down every road he drives. Thank you, Jordan, for opening up and reminding us how powerful these machines can be when they're tied to the people we love most.